For most Indians, Thailand means the south. Oh yes, I know that Bangkok has its attractions, but when you ask people to think of other parts of Thailand, the imagery that comes to mind is distinctively southern. The sea, the beaches, the large rocks, and even the most famous city of southern Thailand, Phuket. This is where Indians go. We go for family holidays, for romantic getaways, and then, when the romance does blossom, for the weddings. Over the last decade, southern Thailand has become such a popular destination for Indian weddings that the hotels have geared themselves to understand the needs of Indian wedding planners. They erect elaborate mandaps and no demand is considered too extreme or too outrageous. The best part of it, I guess, is that when the wedding is over and the guests have all gone home, the bride and groom can just stay on and enjoy a wonderful honeymoon. The south of Thailand is that kind of place. Because of the focus on tourism, we sometimes forget that there are real cities and real towns over here. For instance, Phuket has now become fixed in the public imagination as a collection of nice beaches. But there is a wonderful old town here, full of atmosphere and history, and populated by real people. This is the old governor's house in Phuket. It's one of the region's most famous buildings, and it's turned up in many Hollywood films, including those set in neighboring countries such as Cambodia. Even if you've seen it in the movies, you probably won't recognize it now. For years and years, this mansion was decrepit and run down. Then, a few years ago, the owners of the Blue Elephant chain of Thai restaurants took it on long lease. And they've spent millions restoring it to its former splendor. The Blue Elephant is a global chain owned by a Belgian art dealer and his Thai wife, who is a famous chef. With branches all over the world, it's made Thai food internationally famous. But it's only recently that the chain has opened this stunning restaurant and cooking school in Phuket. Sandra is the part Belgian and part Thai daughter of the founders, and over lunch she talked to me about the region and its food.
Successful brand, right?
Tell me about this amazing building.
It's, as you know, 120 years old.
120 years old?
Yes.
And it was built for what?
It was belonging, this is the governor's mansion. It was belonging to a family who was a Chinese family, the Baba and Yaya family, who was in the tin mining business.
Now the Blue Elephant is a great international Thai brand. Do you find Thai food is accepted wherever you go?
I think Thai food is, first of all, very light cuisine. You can easily digest the food.
Yeah.
And it's also a very healthy cuisine. We use a lot of herbs.
Okay, now what are we eating?
All right, so here we have a little bit of, these are just, we call it here zakuski, which is like finger food.
This is what? This is?
Like a fish.
Like a fish cake?
Yeah, fish cake, yeah. A crispy one.
Very nice.
And here we have a little clear soup with chicken.
But
Here
is
we
the
have
soup
some-
itself made with chicken stock?
Yes, we make our own stock, fresh.
And what's inside?
Just as a
Piece
little
of chicken.
minced chicken with mushrooms and vermicelli.
Okay.
So you can taste it.
Very nice. Invigorate. Thank you. That's wonderful. Thank
So
you. How do we
here-
eat this?
All right, so this is a keng pu bai shapu. It's a typical curry from Phuket,
Okay.
where we use crab meat and bitter leaves and turmeric and lots of fantastic spices. Very healthy.
Okay.
So we're going to take the vermicelli here on your plate.
Okay.
You can remove the toothpick.
And I can sort of unwrap
Open,
it? or-
unwrap it, yes.
can unwrap.
Yes, unwrap it. And then I'm going to pour this on your plate on the
Okay.
vermicelli. So right
With
here
some gravy?
with the sauce, the gravy, like you say.
Great, thank you.
And now you have to taste.
You've managed the difficult feat of adding lots of spice, but preserving the taste of the curry.
Yes.
Yeah. That's wonderful curry.
I hope.
And why would you have it with vermicelli and why not with rice?
Because that comes from the Baba Yaya community, the Chinese community who lives here. They mainly eat.
They eat vermicelli or noodles or something.
Yes, yes. So that comes from that influence.
That's very nice.
I'm glad you like it.
It was Sandra who suggested that I visit the house next door. It's the ancestral home of an old Chinese family, and it attracted so many visitors that eventually the owners moved upstairs and turned the ground floor into a kind of public exhibition. As I moved through the building, I was struck by the mixture of Thai, Chinese and Portuguese influences. It is amazing, isn't it? I love this. It really is astonishing. You know, this house is over 100 years old. It was built by a Chinese family. They still live upstairs. But when you walk through it, the thing that strikes me the most is the Portuguese influence. You can still go to Goa, you can go to the outskirts of Panaji, and you will find houses that look exactly like this. Far away from the historical Phuket is one of the resorts that the South is so famous for. The Six Senses hideaway in Yanoi is spread out over a large chunk of an island in the Andaman Sea. If you want to get away from the package tourists, the hordes of visitors, the beach tracks and the shops of southern Thailand, then this is the place to come. It's got greenery, trees, bushes, everything's made of wood. You have the peaceful Andaman Sea behind you and you have those amazing rocks. In many ways, it's a little bit like paradise.
Summer always makes me think of when we lived by the sea.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Eating ice cream, skimming stones, we spent each day on the beach. You blew away all the clouds. Sun always shines when you're around.
The hotel was founded by an Indian, and that tradition continues with Manish Puri, the current general manager. So tell me about this resort. When was it planned? When was it built?
Well, the thought process came about 8 years back. Okay. This is a property which is 6.5 years old.
Such a beautiful resort. What was it before you built the hotel?
Well, this was a rubber plantation.
Actual rubber plantation?
An actual rubber plantations, like much of the trees which are there in the island. And we still retain a lot of trees. We still tap rubber. But that's
you can actually tap rubber in these trees?
We actually tap rubber and we collect and give it to the villagers so they can actually make latex out of it and sell it as to the bigger factories in the mainland.
Oh, amazing. That's why it's so full of trees and so green.
Absolutely.
And what kind of guests do you get?
The sense of luxury that we kind of showcase is about privacy, getaway, calmness, freedom, sense of well-being, balance with nature. So that's what it's all about, and people who just want to have peace and calm and quietness and look at the beautiful views.
You've worked in every major hotel chain in India. What's the difference between working, say, in Thailand and working in India?
What makes Thailand special? Thailand opens its arm to all kind of tourism.
Explain that.
In the sense that you have spiritual tourism, you have people who want to beach around and have a party, you like a little bit of adventure, elephant riding, wellness. So they have great security, they have great infrastructure for all kind of tourism, and starting from 1-star hotel or no star backpacking to a 5-star super deluxe or 6-star hotel as they call it now. And one can feel comfortable in this environment.